Well, hello to all my idols out there. My name is EJ, and welcome to this week's review. We have a lot to discuss in this week's Idol. We will be talking about Season 1, Episode 2, Double Fantasy. We are into another episode of The Idol, and I still don't understand the controversial nature of this show. Do I get some of the backlash? Yes, this show is depicting something pretty tough. It is a show about the exploitation of women, and it's kind of exploiting women. That is definitely there. I think this has an empowering nature to it. I think there is something really interesting about the Jocelyn character. Even with Sam Levinson and The Weeknd putting all their toxic male bro energy onto it, there's still a core of the Jocelyn story that I'm falling for, that I understand, that I relate to. Again, it's like when comedians are trying to make a point against racism and they say a racist joke and you're like, cool. This is the problem. There's going to be people who watch The Idol who believe this is how you should treat people. They're not going to understand the satirical nature or the conversations they're trying to start. They're going to see this at face value and take it that way. Media literacy is not for everyone. So it's definitely a show that I understand the hesitation towards it. But in this episode, I'm like, I guess some of the sexuality stuff is pretty extreme, but again, I will go back to, I watched Khal Drogo force himself onto Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones. That made me more uncomfortable than the Tedros BJ scene at the end of this episode. Again, I'm not sympathizing with Tedros' character. I'm not saying that any of the exploitation that's happening in the show is good, but it is a part of the conversation. This is what happens, especially what grosses me out more is the PR people, is her management, is Nikki. I'm gonna fight you, Nikki. And Diane too. I thought I was. There were some people who are pissing me off, but Queen Icon Destiny and Hank Azaria's character aren't so bad. There is a lot in this episode. There's a lot of conversations being had here. This is episode 2, Double Fantasy, and I liked it. It gave me what I needed from this. We're furthering the story. We're seeing Tedros put his, sink his teeth into Jocelyn, and he's going to be a vampire and suck her soul, but hopefully she's smarter than we realize. It's hard. I understand Jocelyn wants this power. She wants to feel creative, especially in her very fragile state, and this man's going to come and try to exploit her, but there's enough people who are intelligent enough around her that hopefully she gets the message. I'm intrigued on the ride. I'm intrigued by this episode. I enjoyed it. So we're going to wrap up this review section. Now let's get into the recap. Double Fantasy opens and Jocelyn has found her new sound. It's basically 90s Madonna erotica, maybe a little bit of trashy modern pop singers. It's cute. I'm not gonna lie, I like Jocelyn's bop. Freaky, whatever it's called, it's fine by me. But her label, mostly Nikki, does not like the sound she's going for. She just doesn't understand. They're like, look, we perfectly packaged you. Nikki goes in on her this is what happened. This is what you did to us. We're trying to now save your ass because of the position you put us in. So take your generic pop music and we're going to sell it to the masses. Jocelyn is not feeling that, but she also has to play the game. That's something about pop musicians. I'm a big Lady Gaga fan. We saw her play the game to get to the position where she's at now. Think of this. This show is really giving me Gaga in art pop era. She's about to lose her management. She's about to do a nasty exploitation album because her mental state is not great, but it also delivers some of the best pop music ever. That's the pain what I feel about pop singers. Their tortured souls give us the best bops, and it's such a dichotomy as a fan of being I want my pop people to be happy, but sometimes when you're miserable, you make bops. What do? That's what Jocelyn's trying to figure out. What the hell is going on? She's also trying to get in contact with Tedros, but Tedros is away a lot of this episode. He's, definitely manipulating things in the back. We'll talk about him with his electric shock collar dude and Diane and all that. We'll talk about that. But yeah, Jocelyn is trying to find that connection. She's trying to get grounded again before she has to do a music video shoot, and that shoot does not go well. Jocelyn is about to shoot her big music video, but she's 3 hours late because makeup is trying to cover cuts on her legs. She's definitely getting very experimental with her extreme sex. Her kinky side's definitely getting a bit troublesome and a bit problematic, But well, before that, Jocelyn's just not in a good spot. She's not liking the song. She's never done a shoot without her mother. So there's a moment here that's so heartbreaking where she calls out to her mom. She's stressed. Her feet are bleeding because she's been working and grinding and dancing. And she's just she's like a lost little girl. And I don't mean that to diminish Jocelyn's character. I love Lily-Rose Depp's performance. I love this character, but she's definitely so lost right now. So I understand why she runs to Tedros. He seems to be so much more open than her management or her PR people and all these people who are either yes men or hardcore no people. She's she's heartbroken. She's in a weird spot, and we see it as she breaks down. She's wanting to do like the same dance move, over and over and again. And the director's like, bitch, who is directing the shoot? You are me. Like, Nikki's having to come in. While all of this is happening, though, Nikki's in the background already trying to find her replacement. Pop musicians. We're seeing that right now with Dr. Luke, who is the infamous guy who Kesha made a bunch of allegations against. That case was a mess in its own self, but we're also seeing Dr. Luke make new Keshas, basically. It's gross to see, but we're seeing it's a machine. They need, like, Nikki's character, as much as I find her disgusting, I get her business side. It's a machine. Run it. Put our new cog into it, and the machine has to keep going. So she's already trying to prep Diane. Diane's already working with Tedros. Oh my goodness. But yes, Jocelyn breaks down. Basically, they have to shut down the music video, all while the writer, the Vanity Fair writer, I don't trust her, I don't like her, but maybe she'll be the one to expose all of it. She's getting all the tea. I still don't feel I trust her. I still feel like she's in this for herself, but that's kind of the story of Idol, is everyone's trying to get themselves over. While all the Jocelyn stuff is going on, we see Tedros basically torturing the dude. That one really tall, fine man that's with him? Yeah, I don't know, bodyguard, assistant, protege, who knows, but part of the cult for sure. Yeah, he's like legit shot collaring this man as he's performing, getting him trained. This is all happening, and Diane shows up, and she's just like, blah, 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 I'm going behind, like, Jocelyn's back, and I'm like, oh my god, everyone in this show is grimy, except for maybe Leah and whatever Troye Sivan's character's name, also Destiny, and Hank Azaria. Again, there are some characters who are good, but it's definitely, we're seeing the bad consuming everything, because Tedros is putting his feelers into everything. He basically talks Jocelyn into having a big party over at her house. She should be resting, trying to recover, but Tedros is here, inviting a bunch of people over. They have a party. We're also learning a bit about Tedros. His name is Tedros. I want this man dead. I don't trust the rat tail. I don't trust his stupid ass name. We're finding out that he's basically broke, owes a lot of people money, so he's definitely trying to get into Jocelyn's life for protection, for he can have a place to go. Cult leaders always need that. As they burn other bridges, they're trying to build the new bridges, and he wants us to be here. Yeah, he invites people over. There's that one girl. I only know her from Red Rocket. She's the one weird girl who's trying to steal all of Jocelyn's stuff. Had a great voice when she ended up singing at the end. Yeah, all of this is happening. I mean, Leah's hooking up with that fine man. You just feel Tedros is, other than gross because of the sexuality stuff, but I'm not kink shaming anybody. If Jocelyn wants to get freaky, girl, you get freaky. I'm not shaming you. I just think this is not the man. It's one of those things, sometimes people who are dominants trying to find submissives are not good dominants, are horrible, shitty people who just want control over people, not to give other people pleasure, to have the control, and that's definitely his vibe. You see him, he's starting to put his influence on this house, and it's going to be a mess to get him out, but I, again, have faith that maybe Jocelyn can win at the end of this. We're learning all of the players and where they're going. Idol is definitely starting to build up a compelling story that I'm very hooked on. I want to see where these characters go. I want to see what Jocelyn's CD is going to be like when it drops. Oh my goodness, there's a lot that could happen as the season goes on. What is Tedros' backstory? Are we even going to get any of that, or does it matter? We just know he's an evil figure, and that's all he's going to be. There's a lot happening, but again, that's what I like about The Idol. Do I think it's the most compelling show? No, each episode could be chopped by 15 minutes in the edit bay. Like, it is slow at times. That's one of my biggest critiques. It is a bit slow, but overall, I'm intrigued on the story. I want to see where it goes, and I hope you guys, like me, are rooting for Jocelyn to drop some bops and get free of this creepy man. What did you guys think of Double Fantasy? Episode 2, a bit better than the first one, a bit saucier. Where are you guys landing? Share your comments down in the, in the comments below. Share all your feelings. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, and make sure you guys definitely keep the conversation going and share these videos if you did enjoy. All right, everyone, enough of this video. Let's talk about Double Fantasy and The Idol down below.